Hey friend, have you ever wondered what are all the different ways that you can generate income? How you can actually make money? Hey, my name is Chris from ChrisandNjigha.com, and in this very exciting episode today, I'm going to share with you how you can generate income online and get rich, all right? Filthy rich, by the way, by using Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrants, all right? If you haven't checked out his book, I'm actually going back reading it for the third time, and it is awesome stuff, and was like, whoa, this is basically shows you exactly step by step how to generate income in online, offline, whatever. So if you want to learn more about how you can start putting more money in your pocket and what the best way to do it, then you might want to stick around for that. Hey, welcome. If you don't know already, this channel is all about empowering you, all right, the home business entrepreneur with the mindset and the marketing skill sets to get results, start generating some income, making money, and finally driving the breakthrough that you deserve, all right? So if you like content like that around making money online business ideas, passive income, then hey, go ahead and give this video a like, all right? Consider subscribing to the channel. Hey, and don't forget the bell as well, just so you can be notified whenever I drop new videos on online business ideas, passive income, and things like that, which is pretty much on a Monday through Friday daily basis right now. All right, so let's get right down into it, all right? I'm not gonna waste any time. Got my little whiteboard out here so we can get to work, all right? So we're talking about how you can generate income, yes? All right, and so I love this book. If you haven't checked out the book, I'm gonna show you, I'll leave a link in the description below so you can check it out. It's one of the best books that I've read, talking about exactly how anyone can start generating cash flow in the four main sources. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk to you about the four different ways that you can actually make money, all right? The four different ways to make money, all right, period. And Robert Kiyosaki does a great job on that using his cash flow quadrants. So we'll talk about that. I'm going to give you like a quick overview on that, and then I'll give you a few pointers on how you can really think about them in general and start making money doing it. All right. All right. So Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant is pretty simple. Essentially, all it is like a big square like this, right? Nice square, and it's got four quadrants to it, right? And so in one quadrant, you have E. In this quadrant, you have S. In this quadrant, you have B. And in this quadrant, you have I. Now in the E quadrant, E stands for employee, all right? So if you are in the E quadrant, you generate your income by being an employee. In other words, you work for someone else, you work in an organization, you get paid a W-2, you have a W-2 that you earn every year, and then most of your income, right? The way he defines this is that if about 70% of your income comes from any one quadrant, then that's the primary quadrant that you're in, all right? So if most of your income comes from the E, in other words, being paid from an employer, then you are in the E quadrant, all right? And then you have S, which is self-employed, okay? So self-employed is pretty much anybody who is working for themselves, right? So this could be like professionals, like a physician who has their own practice, a dentist who has their own practice, a pharmacist that has their own pharmacy. Maybe you're a lawyer who has your own firm. You could be a plumber that has your own plumbing company. You could be a makeup artist who has your own makeup deal. Anything where you're self-employed and doing the work yourself, working for yourself, that's considered to be self-employed. B is for business. All right, and you'll notice that there is a difference between self-employed and business. The way he characterizes it, business is you having employees. I forget how many he said, but basically you have employees that work for you, all right? Or you have some other resources that work for you, all right? And that's essentially the business. And really the difference is that in a business, the business works for you. In self-employed, you work for the business, right? So that's the difference. And then I is for investor. Okay, so you're an investor if you have money resources or invested in other assets that are working for you or other businesses that is producing more money from you. So the main thing to understand that he really talks about is that if you're on this left side here, on this left side of the cash flow quadrant, right? An employee or self-employed, the way you make income is generally based on your own efforts, right? You have to work as an employee for every hour, for every dollar you work, you have to get work. You have to get, for every dollar you earn, you have to work an hour for that, right? For self-employed, you have to work, right? He's talking about the fact that this is based on your own effort and strength. You have to put in work to make this type of income, your own work. Now, on the B and I side, of course you have to do work as well in the beginning, but eventually you get to the point where the money is being made for you, either in a business where you have human resources or technology resources that are working for you, or you have money that's working for you as an investor. So in here you have leverage, right? Because you're not having to do all the work yourself in this quadrant. All right. So I just want to go over like 3 main things that I kind of learned that you can really take from this. If you're talking about how to generate income, whether it's online or offline, and get rich, there's 3 things you kind of have to understand that I took away from this. Number 1 is that, well, there really isn't no big difference between, like, there really isn't a wrong quadrant, all right, to be in. There's no such thing as a wrong quadrant, all right? Is all of them have a potential to produce income for you, but the difference is, like we said, is how they do it and how much money you get to keep. The very fact is this: if you're on this E side or on the S side, you're working pretty hard. Yes, you're working pretty hard to make your money because you have to keep on working. You have to keep on working to make that money, right? And if you're thinking about like, hey, I want to be filthy rich and I want to get rich and I want to be free, then it's going to be pretty hard to do that on the employee side. It's going to be pretty hard to do it. The very fact is that you're not going to ever really make the kind of money you need to make in order to be free, financially free as an employee. It's just not going to happen. The only way for the employee to ever reach freedom is if they cross over into the I side. That's really the only way to start investing. For the self-employed person, their biggest problem is that they're doing all the work themselves, right? They're stuck doing all the work themselves. Like, remember, you're in your own online business. If you're like a solo entrepreneur, hey, you're self-employed. You're doing it all. You're doing accounting, you're doing marketing, you're doing selling, you're doing customer service, you're doing everything, right? You're doing all the stuff, creating content, managing problems, doing the techie stuff, right? Talking to prospects. You're doing everything. You're self-employed. You have, like, real estate agents fall into this category too. You're basically getting worked, right? You own a job is how it's described. On the B side, you have human resources. You have people working for you. Maybe you have virtual assistants, or maybe you have employees, or you have technology systems that are working for you, producing the income for you so that you are not necessarily working it. In the I, you have money systems. So in this quadrant, this right side is basically a summary, is summarized by having systems that are working for you. You are not doing the work, they are doing the work. So once again, there's no wrong quadrant, but if we're talking about trading, trying to make money, right? Trying to get rich, then it just seems to me that this is probably the quadrant we want to be in, right? So, and then another thing to remember he talks about is that there is no wrong quadrant, but it's how you make your money. And the big thing about this, on this thing that he talks about, is taxes. All right. Just remember that if you're on the E side and S side, you're getting taxed to death. It's just the way it is. If you're on the B side or I side, you pay less taxes compared to the side for the same amount of income that you make. So it only makes sense to have a business of some sort these days. Like I tell everybody, you should have a business of some sort, because if not, you are paying way more in taxes than you have to. That's just the bottom line. All right. And then the number 2 thing to remember is that I take from this is that if we're talking about trying to generate income and get rich, it's all about time freedom. All right. And the very fact is this, is that on the left-hand side here, You're going to be working hard, and it's going to take up a lot of your time because it takes time as an employer, as a self-employed to create income. But you're going to, as success comes along, as you gain more success, you're going to be working even harder, right? You know, people who have really awesome real estate businesses, and then all of a sudden they're even more busier. They're even more busier with success that has come. No time freedom. Or you're an employee and you're climbing the corporate ladder and you got the great new promotion. Awesome. But then all of a sudden you got to start working at home. You have success, but you have no time freedom. On the other hand, on the B and I side, you start off working really hard. It takes a lot of your time too. But eventually, as you get more success on the B side, what happens? You have more time freedom, right? Your businesses can run without you showing up, right? If you're an investor, your money is making money for you. You don't have to show up. You don't have to be there. You have more time freedom because the money is coming in anyway. And then the third thing that I think about is that, to be honest, like if you're like me and most of us who are entrepreneurs and work in the business trying to get this to go towards a goal of financial freedom, then you're probably going to be in more than one quadrant at any one time, right? You may be in all four. Like I actually think about it, I'm probably in all four quadrants at this point right now too. So what does that mean? It means that you're going to be probably shifting around from time to time in each one, right? And it's just smart to kind of like start off as going from E to eventually working your way to S a little bit, and then working your way from S to B, and then from B to I. That's really the best way. But like you could probably be in a little bit in all of them at the same time as you're transitioning. You know, I think Kiyosaki talked about how they're broke, and they had no job, and they were suffering and living out their car while they were in the process of trying to build their B. And I don't think that you necessarily have to do that. Like that's kind of crazy, right? Like, dude, keep your job, dude. Like, a lot of y'all trying to go full-time so quickly. Keep your job, man. It's a source of income. It's on the cash flow quadrant, right? It generates you income. Keep your job, do your job well, and then on your part-time, on your free time, you work on your self-employed business. And then you start to figure out how you can convert it into a system, because that's the difference. It's the self-employed and the business person. The difference is the system. You just have to figure out and create the system, whether it's going to be human resources or it's going to be like basically technology. Then you can run an entire business. Like you check out some of my videos on how to talk about affiliate marketing. You can create an entire business that's solely ran, or a good portion is ran on technology, on systems that are operating without you. You just need to learn it. Give yourself the time to learn it. Just give yourself the time, and you can learn it. Anybody can. And as you learn this, you learn some little bit of stuff about investing here and there. But I wouldn't go straight to investor like hardcore, because you'll probably lose some money, right? And one of the big things is that each one of these quadrants, there's a way of thinking. There's a way. It's like a different world, right? You just can't cross over to the world and just do what you want to do. There's like different ways of thinking. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, you have to know what the rules are for each quadrant, the rules of the game, because if you don't, you get burned. But if you know the rules, you can win slowly but surely. Hey, so that's it, my friend. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope that was helpful. All right, that right there is really the four main ways you can generate income, whether it's online, offline, and get rich. All right, if you ask me, based on the information we just saw, the best way to get rich, and when I think rich with financially and with time, is on the right side of the quadrant, you know? And hey, nobody said you have to do it overnight. Take your time. You can definitely do it step by step, one step at a time, to learn all the things you need to do to create a business system that works with or without you after you've put in the work, and then be able to be a solid investor so that you can have your money working for you and achieve true financial and time freedom, which I wish for you. I know I wish for myself. Hey, it's awesome. We're going to get there, all right? So I believe in you. Get at it, all right? So hope you enjoyed it. Hope the video was cool. If you liked it, hey, definitely give the video a like. Consider subscribing to the channel. And oh, by the way, if you want to know what my number one recommendation is to build an online business system that will work for you and teach you step by step how to do it, check out my #1 recommendation in the description of the video below. All right, it's what I'm using, and I definitely know it will teach you the same too. All right, so hope you enjoyed it. Till the next exciting episode, my friend. Be blessed, stay hungry out there. I'll see you on the next one. All right, bye now.